Welcome to We Learn, Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 22, Play Activities for Developing Cognitive Abilities and Some Concepts. Topics which we are going to cover in this session are Introduction, How Children Learn, Enhancing Observation Skills, Play Activities for the Sensory Exploration, Memory Games, Play Activities for Developing Cognitive Abilities, Developing Concepts. Coming towards the first topic, that is the introduction. When children pick out beads of one color from the collection of colored beads, it helps them to develop a concept of color. As they identify food items on the basis of what they like and what they do not, children develop an idea about the tastes of food. These abilities are also prerequisites to developing the concepts of number, shape, size and measurement. These abilities are involved in problem solving, which require reasoning, analysis, deduction and prediction. How children learn. Given children the opportunity to explore and discover during playtime and then discuss their experiences is usually the way we introduce concept to young children. The aim of preschool education should be to give children an opportunity to handle a variety of play material and take part in play activities which will help them to develop cognitive abilities and concept on which later learning will finally develop. It is important to be patient as children discover things for themselves. Enhancing observation skills. Play activities for sensory exploration. Play activity based on the sense of touch. The activities through which a child can touch or feel the concept. Play activity based on the sense of smell. Play activities based on the sense of taste. Play activity based on vision and hearing. Play activity based on the sense of touch. Children touch the things they play with. Make sure that the play object should select for children are made of different material: wood, cloth, paper, metal, clay and so on. Put some objects of different textures which children are familiar with in a bag or a box. Create different texture surface in the preschool by covering them some area with a doormat, sand, grass, bricks, smooth pebbles and wooden planks and leave some area uncovered. Some activities where the children have to feel objects with their face can also be organized. These objects must be selected carefully. Play activities based on sense of smell. Routine activities can be focused to talk about the sense of smell. Give children ginger, garlic, onion, orange peel, mustard oil, custard leaves, crushed leaves of a lemon tree, a rose and other things with a specific smell. Organize a trip to the market. Before going out, discuss the children that they should notice the different types of smell and try to locate their sources. Most flowers have a distinct smell. Encourage children to smell flowers growing in the neighborhood. A story or a song that refers to different smells will be enjoyable. Play activity based on the sense of taste. Infant put almost everything they find into their mouth. As children grow older, they learn that they cannot and should not put everything in their mouth. But nevertheless, this sensory channel tells us a lot. Children should be encouraged to taste many kinds of food. Talking about the taste, whether what they ate was bitter, sour, sweet, salty, will help them to develop these concepts. The tongue is also an organ for the judging. Children will be able to talk about whether what they ate was soft or hard. Activities based on vision and hearing. Ask children to recall what they saw on the way of center or school. Ask them to note what is new about a particular plant in the center, where there may be a new flower, a shoot, a few leaves that have turned brown, and so on. Talk to children about the various sounds they can produce during their body. Bring to notice the sound we make all the times but pay no attention to, such as heartbeats, breathing, and the sound of our footsteps. You can play a game of follow the leader, where the leader claps or stamps in a particular rhythm and other children repeat it. Memory games. Memory is an integral part of cognitive functioning and our day-to-day activities. Memory involves strong information efficiently in the brain and being able to recall it when needed. Children's ability to store information efficiently and recall it develops as they grow. Play activities for developing cognitive abilities. A point that one must keep in mind while planning activity is the level of difficulty. Initially, organize simple tasks for matching, classifying, serrating, and so on. Gradually make the activities complex. Play activities to strengthen the ability to match. While introducing matching activities, it is important that the different objectives from which some have to be matched vary in one respect only. Use a variety of materials for matching activities so that children have varied experiences. We have said that initially it is not necessary to name the property on the basis of which you are asking children to match. However, as children have had several experiences of matching, explain and talk about the attitude on the basis of which they are matching. Gradually, as children are asked to match on the basis of one attitude, you can increase the complexity of the task by asking children to match objects that vary on two attributes such as color and size, shape and color, and so on. Play activities to strengthen the ability to classify. Classification or grouping or sorting, as it is always called, involves putting together things that have some characteristics in common. As children get experience in grouping objects, they develop the concept of alike, different, and belongingness. Play activities to foster the ability to identify common relations. Being able to identify common relations means being able to see a relationship between a pair of objects that are not identical or similar. These activities will foster children's reasonable abilities. While many kinds of pairs can be formed, we must remember that the preschool will enjoy simple pairing. For example, draw pictures of the food commonly eaten by a particular animal and say, it is lunchtime and the animals are feeling hungry. Which food should I give to them? Ordering a seriation involves arranging more than two two ways, in gradation of size, shape, color or any other attribute, so that there is a sequence from the first to last. Comparing involves only two objects. It involves establishing a relation between two objects on the basis of some specific attribute such as color, texture, shape, weight, size and any other. Preschoolers make comparison naturally, especially when the subject involves them personally. Next are the play activities to help in understanding cause and effect relationship. The ability to understand cause and effect is the basis of all scientific understanding and any kind of investigation. In the preschool center, encourage children to talk about cases, causes and effects of an event. Next are the developing concepts. It is important to remember that when we speak or imparting these concepts to preschoolers, we are not thinking of these informal terms. Thus, by the concept of volume for preschoolers, we do not need the formula length into breadth into height or calculations based on this. We simply mean experiences of the type how many cups of water it takes to fill a bucket. When thinking of shapes, we mean the many experience of sorting and seriating shapes. How not to carry out maths related experiments. There is no attempt to build the concept of matching. Classification, seriation or one-to-one correspondence, which we have seen are basic to being able to count. Almost simultaneously, the child is taught to write 1, 2, 3 and so on, without waiting to develop the child's eye-hand coordination necessary for such a task. Most children at this stage are between 3 or 4 years of age. Beginning in such a way with no reference to real life situation, number name seems meaningless to the child. Now taking the play activities for developing the concept of shape. Begin with activities involving matching different shapes. When children have had enough experience in matching, you can move on to the classification activities. When children are able to do something of the play activities of the type mentioned above, move on to a more complex one. Along with above activities, focus children's attention on shapes of objects around them. Now play activities for developing the concept of size. Any activity in which children have to compare objects of different sizes. Put the object in the series, identify the longest one and the shortest one, or put out the one which comes next. They are dealing with size. Such activities may leave the length of object, volume or area. Play activities to develop the concept of number. Children's everyday experience help them to develop an idea of one-to-one correspondence. As they check whether there are as many plates as a number of people to eat, they are setting up people and plates in one-to-one correspondence. Typically, the child says out, "This plate is for Mama, this is for Papa, this is for Pinky, this is for Bhaiya and this is for me." As the child finds out one blouse for each of her dolls, she is setting up the dolls and the blouse in one-to-one correspondence. When you have introduced some numbers in the way, given children repeated experience with these numbers, give them opportunity to encounter two in different situations, two people, two sticks, two pencils, two balls. Some of us, when teaching children how to count, always use the same material again and again, pebbles or buttons or sticks. Introduce a few numbers at a time. The script in numbers should be introduced after the children have had considerable exposure in counting using concrete objects. Play activity to strengthen the concept of time. The simpler activities are described first and they lead to the complex one. To help children understand the past, present and future, you can set up some imaginary situations that deal with a short span of time can help children understand that one can measure time. Linked to time is the concept of speed. Plan activities to help children understand how things change over a period of time. Play activities to strengthen the concept of space. The concept of space involves the understanding that objects occupy some space, the idea of far and near, above or under, through or over. The play activities to strengthen the concept of measurement. Measurement is an integral part of developing mathematical concept. An understanding of measurement involves three aspects. These are an understanding of the need of a unit of measurement against which the objects are to be measured, the understanding that measurement can be expressed as a multiple or any number of units, that while creating arbitrary units of measurement may be appropriate in a specific instance, it is not possible to compare measurements taken by various arbitrary units. That for different measurements to be comparable, there must be standardized unit. Now in the last, there are a few questions which are based on this session. Question number 1 is, what are the types of activities you can organize with preschoolers to help them develop a concept of time? Question number 2 is, what is the difference between comparison and serration task? That's all for this session. Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.